It's all right. All right, she's about to make sure it's streaming on YouTube.
Oh, we lost G. Oh, there you
No,
go.
you didn't. We good.
Let's get to
Go ahead.
.x, baby. Not even going to this page.
Oh, I might be able to record over here on my screen too. That'd be. I'm gonna see if I can do that. I'll get a couple little highlights. So we got this. We about to show the video of the internet. That's what it is. The internet in the beginning stage.
Yes, sir.
But let's see what we got. Can we find out how many people watching or anything?
It's live right now.
All right.
We only got one viewer.
That's cool. We echoing. Peace. We got one viewer, so we're gonna wait. What we need to do is probably wait for a couple minutes to see if we get our new views up. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to start over and not 5 people come in, but we'll just actually talk about why we're doing this. You know what I'm saying? And have a little spill because we got one person. We only talking to one person, which is all right because it matters. Whoever that one person is.
Seems like they're the most interested right now.
Yes. And it might be
the first one is the most interested right now. Who is that?
You know what? We gotta start. What we can do is reward the first viewer. You know what I'm saying? Like give them an NFT, give them something. You know what I'm saying?
Let's give them an NFT, Slap.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give them an NFT, my man.
Whoever's that first one, drop your wallet address, your MetaMask, and we're gonna give you an NFT.
If they have one.
If they have one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important to have this technology and understand what's going on so you can take advantages of the opportunities that present themselves. Like right
absolutely
now, an NFT. You know what I'm saying?
Drop your name. Actually, just drop your name. And then Slappy, maybe you can work with them on getting their MetaMask and everything together.
Yeah, check this out. The first person who makes a comment will get an NFT. How's that?
Absolutely.
Boom. We're gonna do first tonight. So whatever the first tonight, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna drop the NFTs, and then you know what I'm saying, and if they don't know how to get or be able to receive those NFTs, we'll take care of you. We'll help you get there.
All right. Drop a comment, whoever that is. My man or my lady.
That's peace. That might be I ain't gonna call no names, but I think I know who it is. But
so we're going to get started with the first video. We're going to give it a couple minutes here. 6. 10.
Okay.
We're going to start by doing your introduction to the internet. And we'll start to explain why we're going into that through that and getting into the introduction to YouTube. We got 2 more minutes, so as we start getting people.
We got 2 more minutes to do that. That's cool. That's cool. Well, like we said, this is a beginning program. We're just starting on this program, whoever is listening right now. So we're going to be coming at you weekly, giving you the basics, because a lot of people aren't in depth with this yet. And we're also going to let you know as we go through the outline on like what's going on in the world that's causing this to come, because it was a planned event. Exactly. It was a planned event for years. Exactly. So now things are going to start coming to the light that you'll see, that we'll show a little bit throughout this. And we're going to go through a couple of the tokens that are going to be changing the old monetary system into the new one. So we're going to get into that real tough.
Changing of the guard. Changing of the guard.
Changing of the guard, man.
This is essential because if you don't change with it, you get left behind, you know.
So
way behind this time.
Yeah, if you haven't read the book, Who Moved My Cheese, that's a great book for transition.
What was that?
Transition into something. Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson.
Who Moved My Cheese? Put in the comments.
Yep. Very good book. Who has read that book, man? It's very powerful because it explains like if you don't adapt to your current situations, you will become like the dinosaur. So that's it's very powerful.
And this is another thing too. No matter how much you love or hate this, there's really nothing you can do about it. You can get on your soapbox all you want to and
Yes.
say that you do or don't want it. It's coming. If you do want it, it's here. If you don't want it, you could yell about it and scream about it. Because for some people that don't understand this, it's going to hurt them.
Exactly.
It's going to hurt, especially if you live in an okay life, especially if you're middle class.
Yes. Yes.
Even the rich, even if the rich don't know about it, not the wealthy, the rich, even if the rich don't know about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shout out to
So we'll get into it.
Or excuse me, Laura. Laura, she's the first viewer on there, so that's who's getting that first NFT.
Cuzzo!
There you go. There you go.
Cuzzo!
Shout out to you, first viewer in there.
Thank you so much.
That's my cuz. That's my cuz right there. I love her to death, bro.
Yep. Nah, so we gotta get
It's 6:10. It's 6:10. So let's get this started. I'm gonna go ahead and queue up this video on the introduction of the internet, and then we'll get into our introductions and go from there.
And before you cue this up, this is just a outlook of the way that people thinking about crypto today.
Understood.
Go ahead and show it, my man.
Yes, sir. Everybody mute your mics, please.
Back now at 56 past, I wasn't prepared to translate that as I was doing that little tease.
Oh, that's
that little
right.
mark with the A and then the ring around it.
At.
See, that's what I said. Katie said she thought it was about.
Yeah. Oh.
But I'd never heard
Or
it.
around
I'd never
or
heard it
about.
said. I'd always
That's
seen the
right.
mark, but never heard
Yeah.
it said. And then it sounded stupid when I said it. Violence at NBC.
Yeah, I heard something around.
I don't know how.
Lunchroom the other
See,
week.
there it is. Violence at NBC. GE.com. I mean,
Well, Allison should know.
what
do you
is
say to that,
internet
Allison?
anyway?
Internet is that
Massive computer
right,
network.
the one that's becoming really big now.
What do you mean? That's big. How does one? What do you write to it like mail?
No, a lot of people use it and communicate. I guess they can communicate with NBC writers and producers. Allison, can you explain what internet is?
No, she can't say anything in 10 seconds or less.
Oh, Allison will be in the studio shortly.
What is
What
it?
does it mean?
It's a giant computer network made up of started from.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us what this was.
It's like
you
a
looked in the
computer
dictionary.
billboard.
It's not an. It's a computer billboard, but it's
Right.
nationwide. It's several universities and everything all joined together. And
Right.
And others can access it.
And,
Right.
And it's getting bigger and bigger all the time.
Just
it came
great.
in really handy during the quake. A lot of people, that's how they were communicating out to tell family and loved ones they were okay because all the phone lines were down.
I was telling Katie, and I've
But
been
you
talking.
don't need that. You don't need a phone line to operate internet.
No.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your store on a single integration.
So, go ahead and explain to me, either one of you, why we chose that video, and then we'll start getting into introductions of you guys.
Cool thing. I'll explain it. The reason why we chose that video is because, like I said before the video started, that we're in a situation right now where people are seeing things what they see on television while something else is slowly but surely growing. You understand what I'm saying? As we're looking at the war, as we're looking at Donald Trump be arrested and things of that sort, there's something coming to light that a lot of people aren't understanding. That's going to be the next phase of generational wealth, and that's cryptocurrencies. Mm-hmm. And once you find out, and once they put it out that it's good instead of bad, right now they're saying bad on the news, and FTX on the news and things of that sort. But people really don't know what FTX does. FTX is centralized, not non-decentralized. FTX is centralized, I should say, not decentralized. So it took money and cryptos. It was just like a bank. It wasn't cryptos that were bad. It was the exchange that was.
Exactly.
But
we're going to get back to that here as we get into the discussion. So let's get into the introduction. So go ahead, Mr. Justice J. Slappy, 3DLearning.X founder. Introduce yourself, brother.
Yep, I'm Justice Slappy, J Justice Slappy on Facebook, Cryptoglyphics 21, and Web3 platforms. I got into this space about 4 years ago because of my brother right here, G Still. He had called me and he just explained to me some basic information, what he's explaining to you tonight. And I took off from there. I just was like, it just ate me up, man. I'm like, ooh, this is powerful. So as I began to study this technology, it just made sense for me to do the things that I'm doing now. I've always been someone of an educator or a teacher, trying to express or to help other people deal with things, deal with life, deal with reality. And so this here, as I'm studying this information, I said, man, I want to be able to teach this information to people and help them. I want to say change this. There's a paradigm shift or shift paradigm shift.
It's definitely paradigm shift.
So I started 3DLearning.X, and so that's the school. That's going to be the curriculum, and basically it's going to help people understand not just about the 3D. I want to say the internet or Web3, but it's also about life skills, spirituality, and a lot of other things. So we use the technology to actually, first you understand the technology, but then we use the technology to create concepts and different things that help people think outside the box. So that's what the 3DLearning.X is, and
Just adapting
I
to this
can't
new
wait.
technology that we have out there and connecting it to our all around life.
Yes, that's what it's all about.
I hear
Yes,
you.
in a
Brother,
nutshell.
brother Still, let's introduce you,
Yeah,
brother. You planted the seed for all of this, so let's get that introduction going.
yeah, man. Well, what happened was when I got the aha moment with cryptos, because I try not to study anything before I tell people I care about. So I studied it for about 3 years, 3 or 4 years, and then close friends of mine that I talked to, they heard of it, but they didn't stick with it and things of that sort. And God bless them. But I ended up calling Slappy, and Slappy was going through something in a good way. He was retiring at the moment. And at that time, I called him, and he wanted to know what else he can put, like, some of his retirement money into. And I told him about cryptos. But the good thing about it with Slap is he read it, understood it, stayed with it through the ups and the downs because he understood the technology. He didn't look at the price. He understood the technology. Even though at the beginning everyone looks at the price go up and down. But he understood the technology. And then when he found out about NFTs, that was something I didn't know about. So
Mm.
he winged off into NFTs after I showed him about cryptocurrencies. And now we got this little circle going on with like helping people a lot, man. I helped a lot of people down here this way. That's like college professors and things like that at FAU. And there's a couple places that I taught at as well. There's a place in PGA Gardens called the Oyster Bar, where I taught people who, believe me, had bigger bank accounts than me and came in as skeptics, studied it, and I'm still helping them today. So it's a cool thing, man. It's cool when you can help people like that.
That's peace. That's peace. Exactly, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's like if we're already at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to this finance game and this economic system out there. So if we're not learning how to adapt to this new time and this new paradigm shift, then we're going to truly be just scraping at the bottom. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
man.
And
Oh man.
yeah, no, we appreciate the knowledge and the seed that you planted because I can honestly say that seed that you planted, Mr. J, he helped water the seed that was planted in me, and now we've been growing and building with this understanding. I'm looking forward to gaining more of an understanding from both you guys today.
Absolutely.
Awesome, awesome. So let's get into the introduction of what we're talking about today. So this is transformation of wealth in the future of decentralized systems. Well, I'm not sure which one of you guys want to kick it off with the introduction and moving into that transformation of the wealth in history. But whoever wants to set it off.
Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I can go from there. What they call cryptocurrencies, there was something going on that was during the pandemic, something else that was turning our head this way while something was going on this way.
So wait,
Was
let's backtrack real quick. What is cryptocurrency for those who don't know? Let's start
uh, okay. Cryptocurrencies are basically, there's different types. Okay. Right now, they have the argument is what's a security and what's a currency. And currency is something basically that you can spend. But with some cryptocurrencies, there's technology behind it that backs it up. Okay. For instance, the dollar today really has nothing to back it up. They call it the petrodollar. But what's going on right now with the BRICS nation, which is Brazil, Russia, India, I'm sorry about that, Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and a lot of other countries that are going over to the BRICS nation is this. Saudi Arabia is now saying, instead of the dollar, which we only you can only trade with, they're starting to take the Russian ruble. They're starting to take the yen. You know, they're going to build like a petroleum station in Russia. They're about to do these things, and they're considering using those dollars also with the American dollar. So what's going to happen to the American dollar if the only thing that's backing it is the oil? It comes back here and it turns into nothing. And that's why you see inflation going up the roof right now, because behind the scenes, the BRICS nation doesn't care about the dollar. They're going to a new monetary system, which is transferring their own money without the American dollar, you know, for their goods and services. And that's what's happening, you know, and plus we're giving trillions of dollars to the war. Plus we're printing like crazy. So what happens? It's a vicious cycle. Something called hyperinflation is going to come and you can't recover it. So the whole system is going to shut down and you've got to start over with Russia with Russia, and then we're getting ready to start. It's easy. You can look it up. You know what I mean?
Understood. And so to caveat off of that, so they're utilizing blockchain technology to do this, or?
Yes, they are utilizing blockchain technology, and the basis of it, it's they'll tell you they're using faster, cheaper services to get your money across border. Well, if anybody's listening right now, the definition of that is a coin that I have called XRP. And the only thing you have to do right now, if you're listening, is go to Google right now, type in world bridge currency. That's all you have to do. World bridge currency. And it comes right up for you. They're sneaking this stuff right up under your feet and you don't even know it. So what XRP is going to be is basically a trustless token, a trustless currency that the whole world is going to trust, even the banks. You can look up Ripple. Ripple was gifted XRP. Ripple is a technology company, and their main token is XRP. That's their native token. So if you look up any major bank and type in partnership with Ripple, it's there. So Ripple is going to be the trustless token throughout the world within 3 to 5 seconds. So I always give Slappy this example. If you give me a second, if I sent money overseas, I have family overseas, and I sent it through, let's call it a bank right now. He would get the message that it's coming, but he won't get it for like 3 days. Well, now they have a patent. This XRP has a patent called on-demand liquidity. And what on-demand liquidity means, like, it comes out of my account, turns into XRP, the technology, and when 3 to 5 seconds, it gets over to my family overseas, and they get the message and the money at the same time.
That's powerful.
And the price is cheap. So if I had to send $100 over, usually you probably got to spend about 20, 25. Well, the price of it is 0.0001. So you're practically not sending any money.
Understood. And that's what we're calling gas fees, right? The price of it to move it from one
to move is basically the gas fee, which is nothing.
Understood. Which is like your transaction fees that you would see with a bank transfer. I got you.
Exactly.
Okay. And then could you guys give me some examples of like what companies and individuals are utilizing the blockchain and cryptocurrency and investments and everything, and who's backing these things?
Okay, I can tell you one right now is a payment system. If you have it, it's called ADP. Oh. When you go to look at your checks,
like when you go to like clock in and out at work and everything like that.
Yes,
check, it's all through there.
Yes, so that's ADP.
Blockchain as well.
Yes, they were made on the Ethereum blockchain. It was created on the Ethereum blockchain. The one that they're on now, I have to look and see, but I want to say primarily they may still be on the Ethereum blockchain, which is probably costing them a lot of money. They probably going to have to move to either XRP or XLM, which they're probably on right now. But they're one, and a lot of people, and I found that out 2 weeks ago personally, because when I looked at my check, I seen something that said, now get your payment 2 days before and faster with the Wisely card. And I was like, wait a minute, so being a little educated on this, I looked it up to see what platform ADP was on. Sure enough, it was created on a Ripple platform. I mean, on an Ethereum platform. Yes,
That's powerful.
yes,
Mr.
yes.
J, can you
So
explain to the audience what Ethereum is?
Ethereum is just another form of, it's basically a language. Let's just look at it as a language, our language, I want to say contracts, all balled up into one entity. And so it was basically brought out after Bitcoin, you know what I'm saying? And when it came out, it was the major, I want to say, player in the game when it came to NFTs and moving things. And it was a payment. It's just one of the things that people use to make their payments or to move their cash. So that's Ethereum. It's amazing. It's one of the I want to say that technology is powerful, but again, it's like I ain't gonna say it's old, but there's so much more that's coming our way in the form of new technology that we have to look at and see. Wow, this is much better than this one, but yet it's one of those ones now. See, Ethereum is probably what, $1,800 right now. So there's a lot of other crypto coins that are doing doing a lot better things than Ethereum, and they're like 50 cents, under $1, or some are a little bit more. But the thing is, this technology is growing every day. But Ethereum is one of the ones. I guess they were a trailblazer, of course. You know what I'm saying? And they brought us to where we are now. So got to give them little
Yeah,
props.
so why is some of these newer um cryptocurrencies are these better performing cryptocurrencies as far as it is concerned technology wise? Why is it that the price is lower? Would you be able to speak on
well,
that still?
absolutely. It's basically because they're not in the forefront. Like when you look at Bitcoin was the genesis of it all.
Yeah,
Bitcoin was
when
like,
you think about cryptocurrency, I feel like that's the first one that comes to everybody's mind is Bitcoin.
right. Can you imagine this back when I started off and I would say, hey, you know what cryptocurrency is? People were like, what are you talking about? Then I say, have you heard of Bitcoin? They say, yeah, I heard of that. Well, Bitcoin is cryptocurrency, but they
Understood.
knew Bitcoin before, and Ethereum comes right after.
Okay.
So the technology, if you want to compare it, if you want to compare the technology, it's almost like Bitcoin was supposed to do what I explained XRP does, but Bitcoin costs too much
Hmm.
to do, and nothing against it because I have Bitcoin, but
Yeah.
it turned into, but it basically it's slower, and when it gets busy, it gets expensive. The same with Ethereum.
So
I know
the transferring fees get us expensive,
the
right?
transfer thing. I know a guy that tried to send $20. You know what I mean? He tried to send $20, and it ended up costing him 17. So he ended up spending
Okay. So he doubled
$37.
his transaction and he was just trying to get
Exactly.
like okay.
Exactly. And
Instead of
whereas
saying
there's
whereas if you're doing that in XRP, it's a lot cheaper of a transaction.
example, there's a guy, it was like 6 months ago. He tried the XRP ledger for the first time because he was told about it. And he has a business over in China.
Hmm.
But every time on the old antiquated system, which is the Swift system, that he tries to move money across
Real quick,
his 50
let's
million
break it down.
across.
What is the Swift system for those that don't understand?
Okay. The Swift system is the system that we're on now when we send money across borders. It's the same system that Joe Biden took Russia off of. So they
So,
can't like
so when he
yeah, yeah,
enacted all those sanctions on them, and
right.
their was it the rupee or ruple?
The Rupel.
Ruple dropped to below a penny because they took him off of the Swift network, right?
They took them off of the Swift network.
Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So this
So,
is
but
basically for commerce between different countries. This is how we're doing foreign exchange between different countries.
there you go, cross-border payments, and that's what XRB mainly does.
Yes, sir.
Cross-border payments.
So this
So
guy, you said he was presented a new solution to transferring his money because it's a slow process, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. They said this, but now we have a speedy, cheaper process that you can use. He said, okay, I'll try it for the first time. And when he did the old system, his taxes were $5 million to send 50 million over. He did it with the XRP. He did it with XRP, the ledger. It cost him 40 cents. So
Wow.
how does that right? So how does that stimulate his business? How does that stimulate the economy with the money he has left over? And how does that help his family? Tremendously.
Even more in this bank, when you think about the whole ideology of learning this economic system, is how much more can you keep? You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be
There it is.
unreasonable fees, and that's a lot. That's a hefty difference. So
It's a hefty difference.
all from switching from moving money through the Swift system through moving money through the XRP system.
And which is why the BRICS nation really doesn't care, like Russia in particular and China really don't care because they're trying to de-dollarize the dollar. They're tired of being bullied by the American dollar. Every time that they want to do something, you can cut them off, just like they've been cut off. They just got cut off. And it was like, okay, we had a plan anyway. We're through with it. We're going with better technology. And we'll trade amongst each other until you guys catch up. And in the meanwhile, we don't need your dollar.
So I got a question. So as far as like the blockchain, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, these are all what they call. What is the difference between decentralized and centralized, and which avenue or which label does each coin fall under? Could one of you
So,
explain that to me?
so decentralization is basically okay. First, centralization is where we are right now, currently. When you have intermediaries in between two parties negotiating a deal, you know what I'm saying? I want to say that's your bank, that's whoever it is. They're there, so it's centralized, right?
So like the Swift system would be a centralized system
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes,
as
and
it pertains to this discussion that we're having right now.
yes, and I like to say real quick, it's basically if I'm an artist and the art world is basically centralized. A few it's a small version of a small population of people who control the art world, right? So the thing is that's centralized. In a decentralized world, you basically you and the collector are connected. There's no in between. It's just you and the collector. You're able to actually negotiate your deal by yourself. You understand? You are the bank. You understand? So it's a lot of things that I want to say go with this decentralization. It's very very powerful because not only do you move the I want to say the greedy out the way, you you empower yourself. You know what I'm saying? There's so much that we could talk about with that, but I mean it's just something I think that we need to get into or learn about because it's about really being sufficient, sustainable, and creating a tomorrow that our kids can actually do. This is generational wealth, is what it is. Decentralization.
Okay.
So many different things. Yes.
Okay. And then so with that, so XRP is a decentralized platform then, right? That's what we're
Yes.
talking about.
Yes, it is. It's a
Yeah.
decentralized network, and it's transit.
What's that mean?
So, well, basically, you can see all the transactions. You can see them all on it.
Transparent.
Transparent. I'm sorry, transparent.
Transparency.
Yeah, it has transparency, so you can see all of the transactions. But for the banks, for the big wigs, they desire, just like they do now with the central, with the central system, privacy, because they don't want to let everybody to know how they're willing and dealing with their business. So what?
So how much money they're making on the back end is what you're.
Yes. What they're saying is when they do their business moves and things of that sort, it's large amounts of money, and they want that to be private. So they built a private line for the XRP ledger strictly for banks.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's open for the most part, even with transactions on small transactions, but big business moves that they do, they have private walls, but they're called private gardens. But eventually, they're all going to open up.
Understood. Okay, and then so let's move along here. So can we how does you guys had mentioned to me prior to us starting this live about the jar shakers concept? How does that have to deal with? How does that implement with this XRP system and this transformation of the wealth system and everything and these financial structures?
Well, actually, it's something that there's a two part to that, real quick.
Okay.
It's actually
Okay.
something that me and Slap we were talking about some situations with NFTs yesterday, and then the
Explain
thought
what
of
NFT
jar.
are real quick. Just or you know what? We'll come back to it. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay,
Continue your
yeah,
point.
we'll talk about the NFTs in a second. So I was like, I told him, I said, well, Slap, this is the thing. Like, how are we going to get people to understand what we're talking about in a basic form? As we got these jar shakers, influencing people on television. He was like, what do you mean by jar shakers? Well, I said, well, there's an old saying that, if you get a jar and put ants and black ants inside of this jar, they'll live in harmony. They'll live in harmony together. They'll understand each other. They'll work together. It doesn't matter how they look and what they do. But if someone comes and shake the jar and puts the jar down, they're going to blame each other and start killing each other.
Oh,
And
okay. Okay.
and that's basically sometimes when you watch the news, whether it's politics or a situation that's happening, you got to think about something. The world is changing, and people are still talking about stuff like the R. Kelly slap.
R. Kelly. Or you mean R.
They're
Kelly?
talking about
The Will
yeah.
Smith slap. I got you.
The Will, I'm sorry, the R. Kelly case or the Will Smith slap or the
Yeah. Yep.
what's the girl that did the pitch Megan Thee Stallion pitch,
Yeah.
and that's all I'm hearing about. So I'm so into what I'm doing. I'm like, oh man, you guys aren't understanding. Like, they're saying all of this stuff, but every time there's the pandemic was the most changes in crypto ever.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And while everybody was talking about like Megan and everything like that, Fidelity this quarter this year is going to accept crypto custody. While everyone thinks the crypto is so bad.
Exactly.
So behind your back, while you're watching all of this stuff in politics, there's things changing. So every time that there is something major on television, I watch cryptos, and something major always happens.
Understood.
Because while you're looking this way, they're looking that way.
I got you.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, we'll
Jar shakers
together and put that concept together and have some jar shaker merch.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, we could do that.
We'll definitely get that together. So as far as the tokens, like what are the tokens what is ISO tokens? ISO 222 tokens. What's that mean? What is that? Well,
ISO is basically the standard on the way that the new monetary system is going to work. It's called the International Standard Organization, I do believe, or Organizational Standards, but they call it ISO. Okay. But at any rate, if you go to something called the World Economic Forum, if you hear that, if you listen to what it's saying, the World Economy Forum, they have the tokens in there that they are going to be working with to change the old monetary system into the new monetary system, right? Okay. And the ones that are in there, I chose the 3 out of the 7. I believe it's 7 that's in there altogether. Okay. You got XRP, XLM, XDC, you got Algorand, you got HBAR, and there's
whoa. That's a lot.
But I'm sorry about that, man.
I heard XRP, XLM, and actually recently I've been seeing this post go crazy viral. There's a guy explaining there's a movie coming out by Disney that talks about their main characters. It's called Elemental, and their main characters is Ray Whipple and a chick. She's like Fire something Lumen. And
this is going to be a movie?
Hold on, let me pull up the clip real quick. We're going to play this real quick.
Okay.
Real quick. So look. So it says here, this Elemental is scheduled to be. Oh, hold on. I'm going to play it one more time. It's real quick. Let's run that back. Disney Elemental is scheduled to be released in the United States June 16th. Check out the characters. Ember Lumen and then Wade Ripple. And basically the post is basically saying like also at the same time that this Fed Now system is coming out in June as well. So they're saying that basically they're broadcasting what's going on. Like you said, they're shaking the jar without you knowing that the jar is being shaken in a sense.
Right, right. So basically, Ripple, like I said earlier, wow, that's wild. Basically, Ripple, like I said earlier, is their native token is XRP. So basically, they're talking about XRP. Now, they're calling XRP digital gold, is what they're calling it. And they're calling, what did you say the other name was?
It was Lumens
Lumen?
XLM, right? Stellar Lumen.
Now, check this out.
X.
XLM is the native token of Stellar Lumen.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what it is,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's basically big dog and little dog of the new economy that's coming up. Yeah.
Mm.
That's wild. That's
And it's
wild,
like a
man.
bunch of kids cartoon movies out there that's going to be brought, and you don't even realize what's going on. As far as that's crazy. That's crazy.
Huh.
So can we get into real quick because we're running up on our time here shortly. Can we
Okay.
get into like all right? So how can we utilize these realist like? Can we use XRP and all these crypto tokens and everything like that for like real estate purchases and like in real life? Like, what's the difference between us using that and like just using like Cash App or like you know what's some of the other ones, Zelle and
Zelle or yeah, Venmo.
Venmo.
Um,
Yeah, what's the difference like between us using those and using like crypto?
well, you will be able to use if you want if you choose to XRP to buy a house. Actually, um, it's funny you say real estate because I believe real estate is either 200 or 300 trillion dollar market in the world now globally. So when you look at these tokens and currencies, don't look at it from an American standard. Look at it from a global standard. So globally, real estate is either a 2 or 300 trillion dollar market. It's going to be on that platform, right?
Yeah.
So XRP is going to be moving each sale of each house all over the globe.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So once it starts, think about the price. Nothing started yet. These are the beginning stages of
Okay.
everything.
And then
So
so
when
how
you
do the tokens and NFTs go up? Because you had mentioned earlier NFTs, like how do those things coincide with one another, Mister?
well, I want to introduce Slack for that. That's my man on that. He's the
So
ace one boom coon.
so basically, regular cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if I have one Bitcoin, and you have a Bitcoin, it's interchangeable. I can give you my Bitcoin, you can give me your Bitcoin. It's still one. It's the same. So that's fungible. Fungible is basically it's interchangeable. It's one penny equals one penny. So
Okay.
non fungible token is basically something that's a little different. It's one of a kind. It's not interchangeable. If I have a pit bull, you have a pit bull. Two pit bulls are not the same. You understand what I'm saying? We can't exchange those. So that's
Understood.
basically what the NFT and NFTs are basically your creative ideas and concepts, your art, and you're just putting it into the technology. You're embedding it into the technology, and you're creating something. You're turning it into a digital asset. So this digital asset can then be put in displayed in your metaverses or on your website. Perfect example, Kevin Hart. Now, if you go get Kevin Hart's ticket to a comedy show,
Mm-hmm.
if you get a certain, you get different, you get a special seat, you'll get an NFT that goes with that. So that NFT will unlock
So it's like a
potential.
collector's item in a sense.
Yeah, it's
For
the
that,
collector's item.
in that case, it's like a collector's item for having the experience of going to his show and everything like that.
Yes, yes, yes. So there's so many different ways you can use
Or
it.
or if I could say, or Slack, if I'm correct, because you're the guy on this. Is it like there's only one Last Supper by Da Vinci, right?
Yes.
There's only one Last Supper, but the copies are like different. But the Last Supper is the non-fungible token.
Yes.
Understood.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
it's also tracking like the authenticity of the product that you're putting or the artwork or whatever it is. Like,
Yes.
so like you're saying that the Da Vinci piece, if somebody was to come to you with a copy and it's not on this blockchain and have an actual chain
You can.
events on the ledger, then you can show them and prove to them that, bro, you're trying to give me a fake right now.
We have
Yes.
the copy.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
one copy is always going to be the copy, man. Yep.
Yes.
I used to see
Verification.
a lot of people like they were real big on that. Was it Bored Apes? Was a big one that was out there.
Oh, the apes.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
you've seen it popping up as everybody's icon and icon here, here, and here. But like we're like so, but you can always copy an image. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what is it called? Poach the image and place it as your own. I think somebody did that with your page, right? Your Twitter page. They took
Yes,
the
they did.
NFT, but they don't
Yes.
have the actual NFT to
They,
match
but they don't.
their,
Yeah,
their
yeah. They
image.
don't have the information that would that I have. You know what I'm saying? As far as with my contract, you know
The
what I'm saying?
original.
Because that's what this is. These are just contracts,
Exactly.
and basically the transactions are they're put on the blockchain, and so anyone can actually look and pull that up and see that and say, oh, okay. And it'll tell you exactly what wallet holds it, where it's at, the location, when the transaction took place, everything. So there's transparency. And because that's another thing as far as when I say good for a community, good for a society is transparency or that true being able to see the truth is
Hmm.
very good, very important because now if I could trust this person, I'm going to do business with him a little bit faster. You know what I'm saying? So it's that the lack of trust is something that is destroying communities. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yep.
only
Understandable.
because so many people have been just taking advantage of the system. You understand? So this is incomes decentralization or incomes this technology that basically is here to help get rid of that. Or I want to say, help improve
That
the
process. I hear you.
yeah, the process. Yeah.
I hear you for sure. And then um, so what is all right? So let's like because we're coming into our last like couple minutes here. So all these things we just gave you guys the audience a wide range of topics as it pertains to what is it? Just cryptocurrency, Web3, blockchain, NFTs, metaverse. We mentioned as well. I heard Mr. J mention that. So can you tell the people where they're going to be able to gain more knowledge and more of a like subject by subject breakdown of these things so they can get a better understanding?
So definitely, you can actually, well, today we're going to continue this into the meta. We're gonna take this into the metaverse. So what better way to actually deal with or learn about NFTs than actually going inside an NFT or going into a metaverse and then actually interacting with that NFT. So
That's a good
there's a
idea.
link. There's a link. It's the 3D Learning Workshop that you could press that, but you got to download Spatial to actually. You can go over there with your phone. You can just tap the link and go in, but sometimes there's
So you
you
can get
know,
in the metaverse with your phone, is what you're telling. They don't have to
yeah,
have
yeah,
the
yeah, yep,
Oculus or
yep. You
anything
don't need the
physical.
you don't need yep, you don't need the Oculus. You can just push that link and you go right over into the metaverse. So we have a stage set up where we can actually talk. I have a video playing right now that's really just giving you a breakdown of the NFTs. So
I'm
at
going to go ahead
7:50,
and throw it in the comments below so you guys could go ahead and click the link.
yep,
Cool.
and then what we'll do is like our metaverses are set up to actually share this type of information that Gary is talking about. So we'll have a lot more of the information over in these metaverses, and so that you can actually go in, you can actually look at it with your Oculus in VR, or you could just go regular with your phone. So we'll have a lot of the information that we researched. And the one thing I did was I said, let me let G talk about this because there's a lot of stuff. Give him his time. You know what I'm saying? Because this is so important that you get these concepts down. We're probably going to do more of these webinars. So please log on. Send,
We
as far as like,
definitely going to. We definitely going to. Cause I feel like
Wait
there's
for,
so much to talk about, and there's so
yeah,
many. Like I could take each and every subject that you two broke down, and just continue asking you questions for hours about it. So, and I feel like a lot of people just listening to it. It's a lot of information, and they're going to need to get that breakdown more.
And that's why we're, not to interrupt, man, but that's why we plan on coming up with something week to week. And even if there's people that have questions, we can answer questions, grown folk questions. You know what I mean? No jar rattling questions.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
You know,
Yes.
so
Real.
no jar shaking questions.
And then is 3DLearning.X. This is about to be a platform where you two will be teaching as well, right?
Yes. Yep.
Absolutely.
Offering programs for people to learn at their own pace.
Yes. 3D Learning, 3D Learning.X at teachable.com is the actual website. And then you can also email us 3D Learning.X at gmail.com. You can send us an email and the topic that you're looking to talk about or trying to find out information, or just to register in our community. Be a part of our community. We got a lot of different people who talk about a lot of different subjects, and they can't wait to speak to you guys. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about this before. You know, this is the greatest transitioning of wealth
Of wealth in human history.
in
Yes,
human
indeed
history.
it is.
So where do we want to sit at the table? We want to be at the table, sitting there and discussing and talking about our businesses and things of that nature, or do we want to be serving the table?
Exactly.
That's really what it boils up. That's what it boils down to. So getting this, the more that you learn, that's what 3DLearning.X, the key is knowledge. You know, knowledge is key. So the more that you learn and apply it, you got to do your research. You can't just get into it and just listen. Don't listen everything that we're talking about. Don't even listen to us. Go do your research.
Yeah.
Do your own due diligence and listen and learn. Because
because we are not financial advisors. That's number one.
Yeah, G told me this. Slap told me that. Nah, you go do your research, and when you find it, and you feel comfortable, then you make those decisions that you need to make.
Exactly.
If you go do your research, you'll see exactly what we're telling you.
Yes.
So don't believe us. Don't believe us. Believe in the research.
Exactly.
Believe in the research.
Yeah, we're just planting the seeds for you guys, and honestly, I appreciate you guys because you're building a lot of my knowledge too and my awareness too. Because my biggest thing is this isn't for me right now. This isn't for right now here. This is for Luna when she's of age and she's old enough. Exactly with the NFT, she's gonna be that's the generation that's gonna be really seeing this. Just like my generation, the video you put up at the beginning, that was '94. I was born that year. But I came into the understanding of the internet. It was just woven into me. That was just I automatically knew what the internet was because it was in my face from beginning. But
with that being said, can you imagine this? You're Luna growing up, and she gets to be about 7 years old to 10 years old, and she says, "I remember holding a quarter."
Yep.
But they're not around anymore.
Exactly.
Everything is digital. It's just like a phone. You know it was there, but you never seen anybody take one down.
Exactly.
Slowly but surely it's coming. And slowly but surely the old one is leaving. It's that simple.
Yes.
Yeah. But thanks for this, man.
No,
appreciate
you guys. Man. This was powerful. This is a great build, and I look forward to going into Spatial. I put the link in the chat box there below. We'll have the link also on the video once it broadcasts and it just becomes a video. But we appreciate everybody who's come to this live. This has been a really great build from both of you guys. If you guys got anything else, we got about 3 minutes left that you can go ahead and close out with. I'm sure the audience will appreciate it.
Well, basically, the link is there. We'll talk more about that. About the NFTs and basically use cases, how you can use it. If you're an artist, if you're a musician, whatever it is, if you're a musician, if you draw, there's so many different ways that you can use this technology to bring your talents to the forefront. What'd you say?
Real estate agent.
Real estate agent. Real estate agent. Whatever you're dealing with, there's going to be a space for you. In this space. When I say that too, all they're talking about, they're saying that by 2025 that there will be 1 billion people in the metaverse. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, then what is it that you're going to do? What is your business, and how do you use this technology to?
And when this technology arises, and you're like a grandfather, and they ask you, "What did you do when you could have got into this?" and you say nothing, You know, I just didn't believe in it. You know what I mean? That's totally up to you. But you know, this is going to be the fourth industrial revolution, man. First it was steam, then there was science, then there was, you know, industry, and now it's technology, bro. It's going to be technology. It's going to be data. That's why everybody's trying to buy up everybody's data per se. Elon Musk, Facebook, all the data is getting bought up.
AI to fuel the AI.
AIs of the future. If you don't know this, over in China right now, they're doing this with the universal basic income. If you say something online bad about the government or anything like that, and you try to go on a bus, they have something that scans your face, and you'll know your information, and you won't be allowed on the bus.
Damn.
So, but if you invest and you have private, you have your own tokens, man, you're going to be able to live a more free life. But they say the phrase is you're going to own nothing and be happy. But that's if you don't mind people following you through your money, and that's CBDCs. We'll get to that next week.
Yes, sir. I will thank you guys, man. It's been a great build. I appreciate you all, and tap in next time for the next 3D Learning webinar, man. We appreciate you all.
Yes, we appreciate you. Thank you, Sabali. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Sabali, man. Monster, bro. You're a monster, bro.
I'm glad we had a lot to cover, so I'm glad we were able to get through it, man.
And you chopped through quick because me and Slappy will start talking to people that's writing us online and everything. You kept us in the line, bro. You kept us in the straight line. Appreciate it. Right, Vanessa?
All right.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Prosperity. We're going to go ahead and end this and move over to Spatial, guys.
See you there.
Yep.
All right.